Good morning everyone. May I present to you the work of our group which we will be discussing and comparing about the Asian literature and Philippine literature. So now let's begin. Asian literature was referred to as written as over a period of 1,000 years. It means that a lot of happened in the world. Asian literature was already structured and became better as time goes by. The Asian literature includes and surrounded by 48 countries, and it's separated by each part, which includes East Asian literature, such as belongs to Chinese, Japanese, and Korean literature. From the Central Asian literature comprising the Bengali, Indian, Pakistan, and Tamil literature. And in the West Asian literature that covers Arabic, Persian, and Turkish literature. And for the Southeast Asian is the that belongs the Philippine literature. Some of the Asian best writer contribute to an Asian literature includes Filipino writer like Nick Joaquin with his work La Naval de Manila, and from the Japanese writer is Abi Kobo with his work The Woman in the Dawns in 1960, and from the Chinese writer is Sima Xin with his work Shiji or the Records of the Great Historian. And the Indian writer includes Salman Rushdie, known for his Midnight Children for the Backlash to Satanic Verses that was published in 1988. Even if a lot of good writers and literature that did not mention, you can still research and try to look and read on it for you to work out and to find out how good writer as the Asian people is.
Philippine literature is made by the Filipinos or the people of the Philippines. The Philippines is part of the Southeast Asia, and the reason why Philippine literature became part of Asian literature. According to the Philippines being colonized by the Spaniards and Americans was the reason why Philippine literature is written in English, Tagalog, Spanish, and or other native Philippine languages. Most of the remarkable literature of the Philippines was written during the Spanish period and the first half of the 20th century in the Spanish language. The Philippines literature covers a variety of genres, most notably poetry and magical romances, prose, dramas, religious dramas, and secular dramas. The history of the Philippines has a big role in making Philippine literature wealthy. Philippine literature reflects our norms, beliefs, values Filipinos in this country. Some of the Philippine literature are Florante at Laura by Francisco de Las, where it was written in the form of awit, where are 4 lines per stanza and 12 syllables per line. The Woman Who Had No Rose by Nicotin, where we show the effects and influence of the past towards the post-war events in the Philippines. The Santa Barbara Hati Bautista as she has captured 50 legionnaires in the 70s, mentioning changes that arose after the Plaza Miranda bombing and the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus in the Philippines, and Nola Mitangare and Alfredo Bustorisna, and also Katapusang Higit ng Pilipinas as 2 of the most well-known masterpieces by Rizal and Bonifacio, respectively, that helped push the Philippine Revolution to the eventual overthrow of the Philippines over the Spanish regime. This masterpiece will help other nationalities understand the lives of the Filipinos during Spanish colonization and how this masterpiece became a powerful weapon to the Philippines.
The similarities between Asian and Philippine literature is that just like in Asian literature, religion has also been part of the Philippine literature, given that Philippines is one of the most religious country in the world. According to the study of International Polling Group Gallup, religion gave us a vital role for Asian and Philippine in order to create an extraordinary literature. One of the similarities we also seen is the critical approach. Critical approach was very popular in Asian and Philippine literature because you will see the connection of the author's life. It can be what they go throughout their past and made them inspired to write and to address and open their eyes. Just like what Dr. Jose Rizal write the No Le Tangere and El Filibusterismo and The Price of Bananas by Mark Raj Anab. They are also similar in terms of general creative style of writing and they are rich as the no ones as people who live in. They embody the history, life, experience of the experience and culture of the people from which it originated, as well as their ideas.
Hi guys, so now let's go to the differences in themes and approach of Asian and Philippine literature. One of it is Indian writing, where Indian writing is additionally a famous region of study regards to Asian writing. They generally realize abstract pieces of community on their convictions and religion. The initial writing was additionally composed generally in the Santos language, which is the accepted ones utilized by the divine beings. Two of their significant and well-known scholarly pieces are sagas or the Ramayana and Mahabharata. One of also is Japanese writing. Japanese writing is likewise generally known. The most well-known scholarly structure from Japan would likely be its verse, most explicitly the haiku. Haiku is a Japanese verse that is just made out of 3 lines having 575 syllables individually. Another famous type of Japanese verse is tanka, which is somewhat longer contrasted with the haiku, as it has 5 lines, with its first and line having 5 syllables and the rest having 7. While the Philippine literature is a composition of writing of social facts and anecdotal lines, it strokes the feelings of man, the watcher, the conference, and the sensation, also the taste and the faculties. Hi guys, so now let's go to the reason. So, non-local English writing is uniformly significant as one register in which the assortments of English are utilized and created, and non-English articulations utilized in them are solid markers of neighborhood societies. The utilization of such articulations by Asian and Filipino creators in their English work is comparable. The creators' strategies for their utilization and their semantic and practical classes. The outcomes show the genuinely high likeness between the two literary works, demonstrating the presence of regular territories which will in general be passed on. So now let's go to the current status. A nation molded by 100 years of colonization by brutal wars, durable political change, and the untainted excellence of its hand. The Philippines offer essayists a lot of material to work with. Culture Chief looked at 7 of the best essayists to come from the Philippines. The Philippines public legend, Jose Rizal, was additionally a productive author and a writer. Jose Rizal, 2 books, No Le Tangere and El Filibusterismo, were social critics that pointedly uncovered the treacheries of Spanish colonization while lauding the Filipino in his most common state. And that's all. I hope you have learned from my vlog.